Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha. Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi. Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yamunatira Vanachari. Yamunatira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya. Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya. Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yamunatira Vanachari. Yamunatira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Jaya Radha Vallabha Sri Radhe Jaya Radha Jaya Radha Madhava Sri Radhe Jaya Radha Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivājikacārya Aṣṭotra Sri Śrīmad Bhāgavatam Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Jai Amniti Lila Pravishta Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivājikacārya Aṣṭotra Sri Śrīmad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shavasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Syama Kund Radha Kundi Giri Govardhan ki Jai Shri Vrindavan Dham ki Shri Navadvip Mayapur Dham ki Ganga Mai Yamuna Mai ki Bhakti Devi Tulasi Maharani ki Shri Shri Gaurnitai ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Vallabh ki Jai Shri Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Mai ki Jai Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai Grantharaj Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Dhayat Mudirayed Nasta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatir Uttamasloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistikim. We continue our reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 5, chapter 16, chapter entitled The Description of Jambudvipa. Text number 25. Again, it is in the prose, so I'll just kind of read the verse once and then we will go forward, word for word, and continue from there. Age is catching up, so you can see the eyesight and all that needs to be adjusted. Yan upajusananam nakvadachit api prajanam vali patita kalma sweda durgandhya jaramaya mrityu shitoshna vaivarna puspasargadayas Tapa Vishesa Bhavanti Yavaja Jivam Sukham Niratisayam Eva. Word for one. Yan, which all the products produce because of the flowing rivers, mountains above. Upajusananam, of person who are fully utilizing. Na, not. Kadachit, at any time. Api, certainly. Prajanam, of the citizens. Vali, wrinkles. Palita, grey hair. Kalma, fatigue. Sweda, perspirations. Durgandhya, bad odors because of unclean perspiration. Jara, old age. Amaya, disease. Mrityu, untimely death. Sita, severe cold. Ushna, scorching heat. Vaivarnya, fading of the luster of the body. Upasarga, troubles. Adaya, and so on. Tapa, of sufferings. Visesaha, varieties. Bhavanti, are. Yavat, as long as. Jivam, life. Sukham, happiness. Niratisayam, unlimited. Eva, only. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. The residents of the material world who enjoy the products of these flowing rivers have no wrinkles on their bodies and no grey hair. They never feel fatigue, and perspiration does not give their bodies a bad odor. They are not afflicted by old age, disease, or untimely death. They do not suffer from the chilly cold or scorching heat, nor do their bodies lose their luster. They all live very happily without anxieties until death. Translation responsibly. The residents of the material world who enjoy the products of these flowing rivers have no wrinkles on their bodies and no gray hairs. They never feel fatigue, and perspiration does not give their bodies a bad odor. They are not afflicted by old age, disease, or untimely death. They do not suffer from chilly cold or scorching heat, nor do their bodies lose their luster. They all live very happily, without anxieties, until death. Purport. This verse hints the perfection of a human society even within the material world. The miserable condition of this material world can be corrected by the sufficient supply of milk, yogurt, honey, ghee, molasses, food grains, ornaments, beddings, sitting places, and so on. This is the human civilization. Ample food grains can be produced through agriculture enterprises. The profuse supplies of milk, yogurt, ghee can be arranged through cow protection. Abundant honey can be obtained if the forests are protected. Unfortunately, in modern civilization, men are busy killing the cows that are the source of the yogurt, milk, and ghee. They are cutting down all the trees that supply honey. And they are opening factories to manufacture nuts and bolts, automobiles and wine, instead of engaging in agriculture. How can the people be happy? They must suffer from all miseries of materialism. Their bodies become wrinkled and gradually deteriorate until they become almost like dwarves. And a bad odor emanates from their bodies because of unclean perspiration resulting from eating all kinds of nasty things. This is not human civilization. If people actually want happiness in this life and want to prepare for a best in the next life, they must adopt a Vedic civilization. In a Vedic civilization, there is a full supply of all necessities mentioned above. Om Jnanatimirantasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitan Mena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manovishtam Snapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padkamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakham Vitamsa. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tattva Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhuvevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langaiti girim yat kripatamaham vande Sri Gurum Dinatarinam. Hare Krishna. So here we continue to hear the wonderful description of Jambudvip. So, sorry, my jacket has gone. There are 10 subject matters in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Does anyone know some of them? 10 subject matters of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. In the second canto, Sukadeva Goswami describes in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam there are 10 subject matters that are discussed. Sarga, which is creation, Visarga, the secondary creation. Then third one is Sthanam. Sthanam is the positioning of living entity in different places. Sthanam, planetary system. And so this particular section is exclusively dedicated to explain the planetary system or the entire creation, how it's created and where the living entities are placed. How are they staying? Where are they staying? What is their activities? And what do they do? What do they look like? That is this. So this Sthanam part of, we are discussing the Sthanam section of, in this particular section, this is where described. Then we have Poshanam, protection, Utaya, Manvantaras, Ishanukatha, which is the different science of God, Nirodha, going back home, back to Godhead, Mukti, liberation, and Ashraya. These are the 10 subject matters of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, these where it's discussed. This is from the second canto, chapter 10, verse number 1. So, there has been a very extensive research done especially in the cosmology of the universe, or cosmology, the Vedic cosmology, by different devotees in our modern days. It has been done like Dhanvir Das Goswami Maharaj, His Holiness Dhanvir Maharaj, Shadaputa Prabhu, Drutakarma Prabhu. So that they have done very extensive research on this cosmology section. And they have written many books on it. And these are the research done on the research which is done by the previous acharyas. For example, the works of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Jiva Goswami's work, and all those acharyas has commented on these particular sections of the Vedic cosmology. And there's very extensive research done in the Madhva line by Srila Vadiraj Tirtha. This is in the 1480s, around that year, 1480s to 1600. There's a whole, he's done the research, it's called Bhugola Varnanam. It's a very historic, but it is very extensively the research done on that. So like that we have references from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Mahabharata, different Puranas like Vayu Purana, Vishnu Purana, Surya Siddhanta, Markandeya Purana. Many references are taken and compiled. So, based on those research, this is where the ISKCON, the TOBP project is coming on to explain in very visual, very scientific, through that research. That is where is the So, and these are not just facts thrown out there, put in there. They are facts. They are facts. And if they were not important, if they're not valid, all our acharyas, which they have spent lifetime studying, putting together, studying the scriptures, studying the Puranas, researching, that would be all farce in that case. And most importantly, the Supreme Personality Himself came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and approved it. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is thoroughly approved and accepted by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the creator of the cosmology. He has accepted it. So therefore it is a fact. 100% it is fact. Scientists and different personalities, they are doing research because their research is based on their sensual perceptions. So they can go to the certain extent, but they can't go as deeper as what our scriptures describe. So therefore, for us, it is a fact. 100%, 100%. We accept as it is. Now, these signs, we were just studying yesterday, last night, in our Bhakti Vaibhava class, that these Bhagavat, the teachings of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, is directly coming from Krishna. Just in the reference, yesterday's topic we were discussing, that how when 4 Kumaras went to Lord Brahma asking a question, how do we be detached from this material, mental attraction? How can we be detached? Lord Brahma said, I also don't have that answer fully. So Lord Sanat Kumaras, they go to Lord Sankarsan, and Sankarsan instructs them. So Sankarsan instructs all teachings of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam to Sanat Kumaras, and Sanat Kumara in return pass it on to Sankhayan Rishi, and then goes to Parasara Muni, and Parasara to Maitreya Rishi. So we heard the whole third and fourth canto conversation between Maitreya and Vidura. So now this is how this knowledge is passed on. It's also directly coming from the Supreme Personality Godhead. Therefore, it is fact. Entire the Vedic teachings are coming from Krishna. They're coming from me. And we write in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, very first verse is, Tene Brahma Hirda Adikavaye. Lord is giving the instruction to Brahma. So many ways this teaching is coming. See, Bhagavatam is a fact. The point that I was trying to make. So, looking in or studying this cosmology that we are in at the moment, in this section of Bhagavatam, in this same chapter, in chapter 16, Sukadeva Goswami makes a disclaimer in the text 4. He said, even you spend the lifetime of Lord Brahma, you may not be able to understand this cosmology fully. The lifetime of Lord Brahma is about 311 plus years, trillion years of our calculation. So therefore, even spend the life of Lord Brahma, entire life, you may not understand. So therefore, so it is. So why Sukadeva Goswami is bringing in this subject matter? What is the relevance? The relevance is to describe Krishna's pastime of creation. It is so vast, so massive, huge, and there's billions and billions of living entities are just traveling, going and going about their duties, and this is. So it is describing the Krishna's greatness. It is Krishna's Srishti Leela. How he creates, how he... So, let's dive in, do just what has happened so far. It is coming into this verse. Little bit about the cosmology, how it's described. So let's go take the reference from Brahma Samhita. Brahma Samhita 5.43, Lord Brahma explains the spiritual. So he gives categorically describes the cosmology. He says, Goloka Namni Nijadhamni. So Goloka is the dham of Lord Krishna. Nijadham, that is his personal abode. Goloka Namni Nijadhamni Tale. Now he used the word Tale. Tala means bottom. Right? Like we have Patala, Atala, Bitala, Sutala, Tala. Referring now. So first is Goloka Vrindavan. That's in very top. Then you come to bottom. Goloka Namni Nijadhamni Tale Chatasya Devi Dham. So our material creation is, Brahma calls it as a Devi Dham because Durga Devi is the in charge of this material creation. Right? So Devi Dham. Then above us is Mahesh Dham, where is Lord Shiva's Dham is there. Then Hari Dham, which is the Vaikuntha planets. Then go back to. So this is how the Srishti. So first is Goloka, then comes Vaikuntha Dham, Hari Dham, then Mahesh Dham, then we are in our realm is called Devi Dham. So far we are with me? So we have Krishna Loka, then Vaikuntha Dham, Mahesh Dham, then we are in Devi Dham, which is our Dham. This is where we are, right? So, what is the size of our universe? Brahmanda? It is given in the third canto of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, chapter 11, text 40. It is 4 billion miles. So the universe is described as a shape of Brahma, Anda, shape of egg. How it is. So if you look at from inner core, from top, bottom to Govardhan Ocean, bottom, that is 4 billion miles. Or in yojana, it is described as 500 yojana this way and 500 yojana vertical and horizontal, 500 each. That is the size of our universe. How big is it? That's big. It's a massive, huge. Huh? So that is the reference for... Now, Lord Brahma describes in Brahma Samhita again, he says, Yasya prabha prabhavato jagadanda koti. Now there is not only one universe. Such universe are Jagat Anda Kotim. He says there is not only one universe, there are koti, there's millions of billions of universe coming out of. And the material Devi Dham is in compared to the entire creation of Krishna, which with spiritual and material. Our material creation is just a 1/4. So 1/3, entire is the spiritual world. Huh? So that's So let's come back to our universe. So our universe are divided into 14 planetary system. Yes? Yeah. So what is the top? Satyaloka, abode of Lord Brahma. Huh? Then comes Tapaloka. Then comes Janaloka. Tapaloka and Janaloka were the great sages like 4 Kumaras, Brigu, Maharloka. Satyaloka is Lord Brahma's abode. Tapa, Jana and Maharloka, these are the great sages where they perform austerities, and they are very highly pious, great sages reside on this. Then Swargaloka. Swargaloka is described as the Dibhyaswara Loka is described from anywhere from moon up until Dhruva planet. That is the Swarga region. So we have Satyaloka, Tapaloka, Janaloka, Maharloka, then Swargaloka. Right? Moon till Dhruva Loka. Then Bhuvarloka comes. That is between our, where we are. There's little portion is called Antariksha. Then Antariksha to moon. That is Bhuvarloka. Then comes us. Our region is called Bhurloka. So Bhurloka, Bhuvarloka, Swarga, Maharjana and Tapa and Satyaloka. So this is the top 7 planets. So let's come back. Now we have gone from Krishna Loka, we come up to our level. Now as per Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, even the Bhuvarloka, it is the greater Bhuvarloka is called Bhumandala. Right? I don't know if you are together with me. It's Bhumandala. So the Bhumandala is vast. So it is described that Bhumandala is in the leaf of a lotus flower. Right? That the lotus flower that is growing from navel of Govardhan Vishnu, going up. So the leaf section, that is where this is our, as a description, that is where the Bhumandala is. It's big, as described. That's 200. So So Bhumandala, we are in Bhumandala. Now Bhumandala is measured as is in universal form. Measured is 500 million yojana wide. It's in the round shape. Now, this Bhumandala is now, in this section, Priyavrata Maharaj comes into a picture. He divides this Bhumandala into 7 islands. It's called Dvipas. Now, Dvipa means, in literary term, Dvi means 2, Pa means water. That land which has water in 2 sides, Dvipa, that's also one of the meaning. So, 7 Dvipas, the Priyavrata Maharaj divided 7 Dvipas of that main Bhumandala, big piece of land, which is it's a big circle. So they are divided into 7 what's the term? What do they call it? Concentric circles. So if you go, take a big piece of land, for example, this one here, if you go and right in the center, that is a Jambudvip. This is where the description we're hearing of that circle. So Jambudvip is in size, is described as 100 yojana, 100,000 yojana, sorry. 1 lakh yojana. Right? So yojana is a measurement, Vedic measurement they use because for the measuring a big, so 1 yojana is equal to 8 miles, or in kilometers, 13 kilometers. So our Jambudvip within Bhumandala is right in the center, right? Then Maharaj Priyavrata divided entire this so this Jambudvip is in the middle, and then next one is Plakshadvip, Salmali Dvip, Kushadvip, Kranchadvip, Sakadvip, and Pushkaradvip. These are the 7 islands that are divided by Priyavrata Maharaj. So first, from Jambudvip is 100,000 yojana, and then there's a salt water. So that's water encircling those each islands. So the size of the saltwater ocean is same as the size of the Jambudvip. Moving to the next island, which is Plakshadvip, now the size becomes twice of Jambudvip. So now the Plakshadvip is the double of size of Jambudvip. Same that goes to the next water, next ocean that is encircled is not salt water. It is a sugarcane juice, as described by in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. So that's a double. So like that, it goes doubling each time to all the way up to the Pushkar Dvip. So it's a massive land. So we are in this and this is given. Priyavrata Maharaj had 10 sons, 1 daughter, 13 sons and 1 daughter, right? So out of 13 sons, 3 become from the second 2 wives. So one wife had 10 sons and 1 daughter. Second wife had 3 sons. 3 sons, yeah. So those 3, the sons from this second wife become Manus. Uttama, Tamasa and Raivata, they are the sons of Priyavrata Maharaj. They become Manu. Out of 10 sons, the daughter gets married to Sukadeva, who's the guru of demons. So out of 10 sons, 3 they become sannyasis. they don't accept. So there are Kavi, Mahavira and Savana, they become 3 sannyasis. And remaining 7 sons, they become the king after Priyavrat Maharaj of these each islands, 7. All right? So the Jambudvip is given to Agnidra, the first son. So thus far everyone together with me, right? So these 7 islands not only ruled by Priyavrata's ancestors, they also ruled, we in the ninth canto, we hear Maharaj Ambarish also ruled the entire 7 dweepas, Mandhata, Sagar Maharaj, Lord Ramachandra, Puru. These great emperors, they ruled the entire 7 islands, as for reference from the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam canto, 9th canto. So it's not the only ruled by... So now 7 islands, we are, this is the description of one of the island of that Bhumandala, which is called Jambudvip, which is in the center of that land, and we're coming to that description. So, of Jambudvip. This is the title of the chapter. It's called Descriptions of the Jambudvip. Now, Jambudvip is also further divided into 9 varsas. Varsa is the land between the mountains. It's called Varsa. So there's a Dvipa and there's Varsas. So between the mountain, which is the land, it's called Varsas. So Jambudvip is divided into 9 Varsas. So these 9... Okay, 8 of these verses are called Bhauma Swarga. Yes? Bhauma Swarga means the heavenly realm within the Bhumandala, or Bhauma Sarga. There's a Dibya Swarga, which is on top. Dibya Swarga is from between moon and the Dhruvaloka is called Dibya Swarga. Bhauma Swarga is the 8 verses of the Jambudvip is also known as Bhauma Swarga. In fact, all the 7 islands, including, except for Bharatavarsa within Jambudvip. Bharatavarsa is known as Karma Bhumi, where we come and perform our activities, we do our karma. There where we accumulate our bank balance of karma, then from there it is decided where we're gonna go according to our karma and desire, and then we go to different realms of the Dibya Swarga or Bhauma Swarga. It is also mentioned that Bhauma Swarga is in fact the person who does the punya karma in the Bharat Barsha Karma Bhumi. Then it goes to the Dibya Swarga. From Dibya Swarga, it is mentioned, I think I was listening to the lecture on this topic of cosmology by Pavaneshwar Prabhu from the Eco Village or Govardhan village. He was mentioning, it is about when the punya karma in the Swarga, in the Dibya Swarga, come to about 90%. They spend 90% of their punya karma in the Dibya Swarga, and then remaining 10% they come down to Bhauma Swarga, and they further enjoy their punya karma. The life of this Bhoma Swarga, the span is about 10,000 years of our human calculation. Then when they finish that, they come down to this karma bhumi again to continue perform their karma. So that is the Bhoma Swarga. Now, as we hearing the descriptions of our Jambudvip, as I said, Jambudvip again is divided by 9 verses. So our our Bharatvarsha is one of the khanda. We are actually our Bharatvarsha is also further divided into 9 khandas, and our earth globe is one of the khandas of Bharatvarsha. Okay, am I confused, everyone? Huh? So we have Jambudvip. Okay, with 7 islands, we all familiar. After that, so our Dvip is Jambudvip, which is in center, which is 100,000 yojana. Within that, this Jambudvip is divided into 9 varsas. So Bharatvarsha is one of the section or one of the varsha, and then Bharatvarsha is again divided into 9 sections. Yes? And then one of the section is our earth globe. It's called Bharat Khanda. Yes? If you recall, and if you go to visit some Pandits or do a Sankalpa mantra, you'll hear the Sankalpa mantra, something like what do we got here? Like Shvetavaraha Kalpe, the name of the Lord Brahma's day is given different. Each day has got a name of Lord Brahma. So we are in the Shvetavaraha, the Varaha, the white in color. That is the name of this kalpa. Shvetavaraha kalpe Vaivaswata Manvantare, right? Our current Manu is Vivashwan. Vivashwan was the son of Vaivashwan Manu. Asta Bimsati Tame, we are in this cycle. See, each Manu has got around 71 yuga cycles, Dibya yuga cycles they go. That's the lifespan. So our current is 28th yuga cycle of that Chatur Yuga. We are in the Kali Yuga Prathava Pade, right? The very first, fourth. If you divided Kali Yuga into a 4 section, then we are in the first section. Jambu Dvipe, next one. We are from Jambu Dvipa. Bharata Varse, yes? Then comes Bharata Khanda. That is how it is, so that we can understand the So these 7 islands also, they're not flat, as we understand. They are in the shape of terrace. I don't know if terrace looks like steps. Like, if you, I don't know if you can see my screen. I can show you what this looks. I mean, I don't know from distance how can you see. So if you look at just the very small one, look at it's like, for example, if you go to mountainous field, right? You have a mountain, and then there's a field just stepping down. So this is how it is shaped. It is not completely flat. It is more of like a stepstool going down. So on the seventh island, which is called Puskara Dweep, that island is divided into two. And that mountain that divides is called Manaswatar Mountain, where sun god has his wheel chariot that goes. So there's the path of sun god is on that top of that mountain, not sitting on the mountain, but that is where it's traveling. So let's go. So today's verse relates to one of the three that is yesterday we heard. This is a description of. Let's read yesterday's translation. See what it says. Similarly, on the Kumuda mountain is now Jambudweep. On the center of the Jambudweep, there is a Sumeru mountain also. The Sumeru mountain is a golden mountain that has it is, in terms of measurement, it is 100 yojana, out of which 16,000 yojana, 100,000 yojana is the height, out of which the 16,000 yojana is the below, is in the ground, just like you have a building that has a base or a foundation. Similarly, so the Sumeru mountain has got a foundation that goes under the Bhumandala, 16,000 below. And then 84,000 is on top of the land, and it is 32,000 circle on bottom, the 16,000 diameter on the bottom where it starts, and then top is 32,000. That is described. So that is the Sumeru mountain. So towards the north, it's each four direction of that Sumeru mountain, there are four special trees mentioned. Jambudweep, the name Jambudweep comes from one of the tree that is in the southern side. It's called Jambu or Jamun in Hindi, I think we popularly known as. That's a tree. So that is, the whole island is named after that Jambudweep. So the description yesterday's, this description we come to so far, it is a description of the tree, which is a banyan tree on the northern side. That tree, so let's read the translation. It says, similarly on the Kumuda mountain, there is a great banyan tree, which is called Swata Valsa, because of its it has 100 main branches. From those branches come many roots, from which many rivers are flowing. These rivers flow down from the top of the mountain on the northern side of the Ilavarta. Okay, so Jambudweep is also, as I said, divided into 9 verses. The centermost versa is called Ilavrata Versa. For the benefit of those who live there, because of these flowing rivers, all the people have ample supplies of milk, yogurt, honey, clarified butter, molasses, food grains, clothes, bedding, sitting places, ornaments. All the objects they desire are sufficiently supplied for their prosperity, and therefore they are happy. So this is the description. So this same description is continued on this today's verse of that section, of that region, where the banyan trees is located on the northern side of the Sumeru mountain. So today's verse describes the opulence of people who are living in that region. Says, the residents of the material world who enjoy the products of these flowing rivers. Now this is the river we're coming from, the banyan trees that from that region. There's the mountains called Kumuda. Okay. Enjoy the product which is the flowing river, have no wrinkles on their bodies, and no gray hair. Don't look at me. They never feel fatigue, and perspiration does not give their bodies bad odor. They are not afflicted by old age, disease, or untimely death. They do not suffer from chilly cold or scorching heat. We are experiencing chilly cold at the moment, isn't it? Oh God, it's so cold, right? I was talking to my mom yesterday in Vrindavan, and he said, "I'm just sweating every minute. Every step I go is so hot." And look at here, we have full. I was just doing a video calls, and he said, "Look at me. I've got about 6 layers in me, and including my neck and everything." And she was looking at you. I'm just looking at you, and then I'm sweating. I mean, I'm sweating more because I'm just looking at you, because you were so rugged up, huh? So. Yeah, in this place where the description is coming, it says no cold, no heat. What else? Nor do their bodies lose their luster. They all live happily, without anxieties. Now hear the last word. Ready? Until death. Even though you have all these opulences, there is end. You do not stay there permanently. Yes? That's the description. Yeah. Material. No matter how opulently it is opulent, it is great, fantastic. It has a long duration of time. However, it has an end. That is material world. Abrahma bhuvana loka punaravartino Arjuna. No matter where you go, there is end. That is the message Bhagavatam is giving us. Yes, there is opulence. Yes, there is the facilities. Yes, you enjoy your senses to the max. But there is end. You do not stay there for long. So this was today's verse. This is where now it is coming. This is where it is, just briefly. Now let's move to spend 5 or 10 minutes in the Prabhupada's purport. That's, what is giving. In Srila Prabhupada mentions, in this verse hints at the perfection of the human society even within the material world. The miserable condition of the material world can be corrected by sufficient supply of milk, yogurt, honey, ghee, molasses, food grains, ornaments, bedding, sitting place, and so on. Yes? Ample food grains can be produced through the agricultural enterprises, and profuse supply of milk and yogurt and ghee can be arranged through simply a, does anyone remember? Ample ghee, milk, cow protection, yes. Prabhupada makes it, it doesn't matter. In a way you see, this is a whole section where Prabhupada, it's a description of cosmology, this dweep and that dweep and everything is just and Prabhupada brings a devotional service right into the purport. Comes to the nitty-gritty of the needs of our needs. Simply, if we can protect a cow, we don't have, we have plenty for our sustenance. Ghee, milk, yogurt, other milk products. I see somebody, I was hearing a lecture and he said, I think it was in the Bhagavad Gita topic, and somebody was kind of, in a way, praising or in a way negatively saying, in ISKCON or your Swamiji, your Prabhupada, Prabhupada is talking, and I mean, chapter 1 of Bhagavad Gita or chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita from first chapters up till 6th chapter is Karma Yoga. Your Swamiji is, even in the Karma Yoga, finds devotional service, Krishna service, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Devotional, right into it, it's, even though it's not a topic. Prabhupada finds, in the middle of the cosmology description, he finds a devotional service and puts the practical uses of our, what we need for our sustenance and to do a service. That's a beauty. That's a greatness of Prabhupada, Abundance of honey can be obtained if, again, very practical point for us. Trees, the forest. Where is the honey going to come from if there is no trees? Trees, they give us trees, fruits, flowers, honey for our basic needs. If we kill a cow, no milk, no yogurt, no honey, no ghee, which is the most nourishing ingredient for us to sustain. No trees, no fruits, no flowers, no honey. Again. Unfortunately, this is Prabhupada again. Unfortunately, in modern civilization, men are busy killing cows. That are the source of yogurt, milk and ghee. They are cutting down all the trees that supply honey. And they are opening factories, manufacturing nuts, bolts and automobiles and wine, Srila Prabhupada says. Yes, it's fact. Can nuts and bolts sustain us? Can? But where is our industry taking? We are so engrossed, so much gone. We're just producing nuts and bolts. Suddenly something that destroys everything, all these factories, everything destroy. What is our sustenance, source of sustenance? Food grains, milk, ghee, yogurt. Prabhupada says we cannot sustain nuts and bolts and automobiles. Again, Prabhupada beautifully puts devotional service right into the, the cosmology section. So Prabhupada, it's just beauty. It's nice. Then Prabhupada puts a question there: how can we be happy? They must suffer from all miseries of materialism. Is Prabhupada right? Yes? Right? Yes, we cannot sustain on nuts and bolts. No. Our basic sustenance is in the clean air, pure water, clean water, food grains, fruits, dairy products. End of the day, that's what we need for our sustenance. We don't need all those other things that we are busy creating. Such a beauty. Okay, I think we better end here. Hope I haven't confused you. I think this is just the description that is coming, and we just accept. Bhagavatam is, there is nothing that we should be doubting, in a sense. Yes, we may not be able to see. These different islands, or their different, these were, we ask a big question, say, why can't we see? We have such a big, the Mount Meru is described as the 86,000 yojana, right? Which is multiplied by 13, that's kilometer, multiplied by 8 is miles. Why can't we see it? We cannot see. The simple description is given that we cannot see. These are special places for punyatmas. You need to have a high level of punya in order to see these. These places were accessed even up to the point of Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj, if you live at the first canto, if we read the, I think text, chapter 16, text 12, I think it is, it's mentioned that these islands were accessed. Parikshit Maharaj, as he was traveling from into his kingdom, these names are mentioned in the Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj had, up until time of Parikshit Maharaj, these were accessible. Because the people, we had a high punya up until then. I think after that, that's been taken away from us. In Satyuga, all 7 islands were accessed. People were accessed. If we see the description of in Ramayana, Kiskinda Kanda, where Sugriva is giving a direction to all the monkeys into 4 directions. He sends sets of monkeys into to find Mother Sita. And all these islands are very clearly mentioned in the Ramayana. So that means they had access. This is the Treta Yuga. For the residents of Dwapar Yuga, the access to these islands were only up to limited to Jambudweep. Beyond that, they wouldn't go. Even if you see the description of Arjuna going to collect riches for the Rajaswi Yagya, the description comes that he goes up to the Kuru Varsha, which is the last Varsha of Jambudvipa on the northern side. So Arjuna also went these places as described. So, however, this is all taken away from us because our punya has gone down. In the Kali Yuga, Manda, Sumanda, Matayo, we are. The beauty of this Manda, Sumanda, Matayo is we have given a very simple process. We don't have to do a great sacrifice, we don't have to do a great tapasya. Simply chanting the holy name will take us back home, out of this cycle of birth and death. No matter how opulent it may be, sounds attractive and everything, but it is temporary. So we can access, we have the holy name that can take us out. So this, in conclusion, the description is giving the Sukadeva Goswami is describing the vastness or the greatness of Lord Krishna's creation the greatness of Lord Krishna, how great He is. Before we jump into a Rasa Lila of Krishna, we have to understand who Krishna is. That is the description. And then Krishna makes this elaborate arrangement just to fulfill the desires of the living entities. Such a massive, elaborate arrangement made. How great Krishna is. And as I said in the beginning, our universe is size of 500 million yojana, big. And then there's also the 7 layers of covering of Bhumi, Apo, Nalo, Vayu. There's 7 layers covering. And then there's also false ego, mind and Ahankara, Man, and then plus 3 modes. And there's a massive use. And our universe is the smallest. Our Brahma has 4 heads because it's very small. There are universes that are gigantic, which we hear in Chaitanya Charitamrita that there's 1,000-headed Brahma, there's 1,000,000-headed Brahma, which means according to the size of the universe. Such is creation, such is the vastness of Krishna's creation. That is only 1/4. So again, why is so much description? Because it is bringing in the Krishna's greatness into all this description. How Krishna makes arrangement. That is the purpose. So I'll end here. Any questions or comments? Clarification, corrections? Yeah. I mean, I really, the work of these great acharyas, our devotees, how much effort they put in to put this all together. It's a lot of resources available if you really want to understand. We should understand. In fact, being in the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is preaching, and being in the sometime when these topics or this description comes in, we try to think that we try to switch off. But as the student of Srila Prabhupada, as a student of Bhagavatam, as a student of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it is our duty to try to understand as much as possible, because we are preachers. People will read these sections. We should be able to somewhat make them understand what it is. So it is our duty. So when it comes to the cosmology, it's like, my God, so it's too much. It's beyond me. No. We may not understand everything, but at the same time, we do as in the sincere disciples or the followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Prabhupada, we should attempt to understand as much as possible, so we can make them try to explain as a preacher. That's a okay. It's 9 o'clock. So we end here. Granthara Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Radha Vallabh ki jai, Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai, Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadramai ki jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.